Safe. Having a little chat with my mate last night, and I was thinking, well, oh, that came from nowhere. That did. So having a little chat with my pal last night, and we was talking about, cubicles, toilet cubicles, and what goes down in them, and what you do, and I don't know. I feel like I'm not a religious person. I don't believe in God. I don't believe in ghosts. I don't believe in vampires. I don't believe in superstition. I don't believe in any of that. I believe in science and the laws of the universe. That's what I believe in. But when it comes to going into a cubicle in a toilet, in a public toilet, I'd say I get a bit religious. I'm a bit religious about the things that I do. Now, I'm just going to give you a run through of what I do. And you know what? I guarantee you do a lot of it, a lot of it as well. We'll start, alright. Well, we walk into the pub. Door. Go into the toilet. First, I'll scan the area. I'll have a look. I'll see if there's anyone in the toilet next door to the cubicle. We'll just say this once there's 2 cubicles. I'll always check the other cubicle, see if there's anyone in there, and then see if there's anyone in the bathroom at all. I prefer it when it's dead, when it's empty, when there's no one there. No one's going to see me. No one's going to hear me. No one's going to know I was ever there. So that's rule 1. Just check the premises, man. You don't want to have some person. You don't want to be letting it rip and not knowing somebody's next door, and then for them to, have a little go in that and you don't want that really. So yeah, then you go into the cubicle. Normally, if I'm wearing a hoodie or some kind of jumper, I will take it off so that I can just focus on the business at hand. If there's a hook on the door, that would be very handy. Crack the hoodie on the hook. You're ready for business. You can do this shit. You're on it, mate. You just know that that's when the time is right. So before I start any business, it depends what I'm doing. If I'm going to have a wee, I will straight up stand up. I don't go in the little urinal things. Can't do it. And before anybody makes any jokes about the size of my manhood, it don't bother me, mate. Don't bother me. To be fair, I think I'm fine just the way I am, and it's got nothing to do with the size of my penis. It's just the fact that when I try, it just won't come out. I'll squeeze. I'll end up farting at a urinal. Then people are going to be thinking that I'm shitting myself at a urinal, and I don't want that. I don't want to be weeing next to some geezer and then just let out a big fart and for him to just think that I've shit myself. I don't want to shit myself again, so I ain't going to do that. You know what I mean? So if I'm weeing, I'll always go into the cubicle as well, and I will. If I'm having a wee, I won't lift the seat up, man. If I don't have to touch it, I ain't gonna touch it. Pretty much, I think that goes without saying. You don't want to touch it, to be fair. So literally, I'll just wee, stand up, wee. Now normally, you find in public toilets there's skids and leftover excrement from past people. You got to be careful. What I like to do is, I don't like to do it. I just do it without me. I don't know. It just happens. I end up. Say if you got a toilet and there's like a big ass monkey shit on the side. I will normally wee on the monkey shit and just try and clean it. I'm not trying to clean it, but just while I've got enough wee, if it runs out, it runs out. That's not my problem. But while I've got enough wee in the hose, I'll just clean that shit up. I wouldn't leave the toilet in that state, so I'll just clean it up. Normally, it's all right, and it'll get all the shit off, and it'll look perfect. It'll look spotless. It'll look like that. It'll look like that shit's brand new. It looks like they've been to IKEA that day and they've bought it, installed it, and it's just ready. It's ready for the mess, but it shouldn't be ready for the mess because it's new. It should be looked after, and that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to look after society, to be fair. Right. I won't name names, but there was quite a big shit left at the back of a toilet, and I started doing my business, started weeing on it. But there was that much shit on this toilet that when I was weeing on it, the smell of the shit was just wafting up. I have never felt so sick in my life. It just came as a shock to me because I've done it all my life. I've pissed on shit all my life, and it's never backfired, and I've never smelt it. But this once, Jesus Christ, that was the worst. It smelled like a combination of fucking. Oh, I don't even know, man. Just imagine two of your worst things that smell, combine them, and then add a third, and that's what you've got. This didn't smell like shit, man. This smelled like some mutant sick. I don't know. It was horrible. But anyway, that's what I do if I have a wee. Then I waddle the business, get out of the toilet, we're done, happy birthday kind of thing. But the big job comes when, it is a big job when you have to do a shit on a public toilet. Now lately, since my bowels and my stomach has been being a bit funny, making me shit in quarries and fucking ass juice all over my pants, I have to go to the toilet on a regular occasion. I feel like an old woman with a weak bladder. I don't know if your bladder's got anything to do with your shitting, but you know what I mean. So I'll go in there, I will get shitloads of paper. This is what I do first, before anything. I'll shut my door, put my hoodie up on the hook. Now I'm getting shitloads of paper, yard to the shit, man. Right, and then I just clean that toilet, man. The seat, rub that seat. I'm rubbing it, but it ain't going on my hands. It's just on the paper. I make sure there's enough paper that none of this shit is going on my hands. So then I'm rubbing it. Then I pull the seat up, rub the bottom bit, the actual toilet itself, and I'll go inside the toilet, man. I'll go inside the rim of the toilet, because when you're sitting there and you're chilling, you're having a big job. Your penis does hang a bit, and sometimes I've had it. It happens more than once in a week, like when your penis will touch the toilet. Now I ain't having my penis touch no toilet with shit on it and AIDS and HIV and fucking gonorrhea. I don't want to catch that shit, man, so I will wipe it. I ain't using soap, I'm just using plain old toilet paper, but that does the job. You get, literally, if you look at that piece of paper once you've wiped it, Jesus Christ. I feel like Kim and Aggie, man. I feel like Kim and Aggie combined in one. The shit's black, it's covered in pubes, it's covered in nails, it's covered in worms, it's covered in fucking, I don't know, man, bits of bread. It's just nuts. The shit that you find in a toilet is nuts. Anyway then, crank down, do the business, sit down. I normally sit with my trousers, like, when you see people on a toilet and they have their trousers all the way down to the bottom. I don't have that, man, because if somebody bursts in or somebody looks over, they're going to see the whole lot, man, and I don't really want it all being seen. So I wear like my trousers like on my knees kind of thing. And it's hard to explain, I'll have to show you all one day. On my knees, so that literally if somebody looked in, you can't see nothing, mate. This is for me, this is my private time. You're not seeing anything. You can try, but you ain't gonna. So I've got them in position, I've got my trousers on my knees, and then I'm just, I'm cranking. Now, I always find it, whenever I go into a public toilet, the wind in my body is just extreme. I've sat there a good few times thinking I've been desperate for a big job, and literally it's just been wind. I've sat there for 10 minutes like a human flute, like a human trumpet, just making a beat. It's absolutely mental, and the worst is when you can't help it. I remember once I sat on the toilet and I felt like I had a gas leak, and I was actually trying to stop the air coming out, and when I weren't trying to stop the air coming out, it's just coming out proper loud, man, like the biggest fart known to man. But then the thing is, when I'm trying to, squeeze it in, it's going making all these weird noises. Seems like I'm having some devil seance, having a shit. So yeah, you got to be careful about that. But these days, to be fair, lately I just let it rip, man. I don't care. At the end of the day, we're all human. We all fart. The Queen farts. Obama farts. Bin Laden farts. Is Bin Laden? I don't know. I think Bin Laden's dead, isn't he? Hitler farted. Madonna farts. Stevie Wonder farts. Jessie J farts. I'm just looking at my iTunes. Yeah, they all fart. You all fart. I don't give a shit. You all fart. You're going to be looking at this. Oh, he's so disgusting talking about shit all the while. Mate, it's a human function. It's a human function, and if you've got a problem with that, then you are a moron. You are an absolute schmuck. At the end of the day, you've probably just had a shit. It's early in the morning, so if you watch this in a bit, you've probably just had a shit. So I don't know what the problem is. We should be a bit more open about shitting and going to the toilet. It's a good time, man. It's, you know what? It's one of the most pleasurable moments. Having the biggest job in the world. It's one of the most pleasurable. It's one of the most relieving moments of my life. I love it. I love just cranking there. Just thinking to myself. It's great. I don't really read on there, but it's just one of them, man. So yeah, you just got to make sure you be careful about the wind. If you're an embarrassed kind of person, you have to be careful about that kind of thing. But to be fair, don't really bother me, man. I'll just let it rip and let the whole town hear. And then it comes to the wiping, innit? This ain't your toilet, so you use as much paper as you want, and that's what I do. I don't care about the trees when it comes to wiping my ass. All I'm focused about is getting that stuff clean. I don't want to be walking around with no clinkers stuck to my ass. Flipping, walking around with a shit scent following me everywhere. That shouldn't be happening. And if that's happening to you, you need to use more paper, because at the end of the day, just clean it. Just clean it. Clean it like you've never cleaned anything before. Clean it like you clean your goddamn baby's ass. Your baby's just done a shit. Baby's just done a shit. It's yellow, it's green, it's everywhere, it's flying out, it's all over the walls. You ain't just going to give it one little wipe and leave the crack covered in it, are you? No, you will full on get in there, get into that cavern, and just rinse that shit dry. You know, it's nobody's ever going to know he's ever done a shit, because that's how clean it's going to be. Now, that's what I have to do. Sometimes it gets to the point where you're wiping it that hard, it starts to bleed, man. Starts to bleed, starts to hurt, but I don't care. Nobody else is going up there. Nobody else is going to see it. So at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if it's covered in scars. Probably is, man. That's a harder wipe. But at the end of the day, I've got something to tell you now. There might be scars, but you'll never find a piece of shit up there. True story. Oh, the hell.